Hi and welcome to module number 11, and this module is about automating your infrastructure, and today's lab is a challenge lab on automating infrastructure deployment. Now this lab seems to be one of the longest labs that we have covered so far, since this lab has 4 major challenges and then there are different tasks involved in that. So first of all, let's try to understand that in today's session we are going to take a big step forward by applying everything we have learned so far in AWS CloudFormation to fully automate the deployment of real-world projects, the Café application environment. So in this lab, you'll act as a cloud engineer responding to evolving business needs. We'll start by creating a static website for the Café using the CloudFormation, then move on to managing the templates through AWS code commit for version control. And next we'll introduce a code pipeline to build a complete continuous delivery workflow, automatically deploying both the network and the application layers. Finally, we'll extend the environment across multiple AWS regions, ensuring that the Café website and infrastructure are highly available and scalable and fault tolerant. Towards the end of the challenge lab, we'll understand how CloudFormation, code commit, and code pipeline work together to achieve infrastructure as a code and full automation cloud deployment, just like in a real-world enterprise environment. So in this lab, there is information about the things that we are doing, and first challenge is about a business request creating a static website for the Café using CloudFormation, followed by 2 tasks, and then we have another challenge like a new business requirement for storing template in a version control system, and we have a couple of tasks for that as well. And then we have a challenge of a new business requirement using a continuous delivery service, create the network and application layer for the Café, and there is another step involved in that. And finally we'll have the last task where we'll be working on the duplicating the network and application resources in second AWS region. So it would have only one step, and finally we'll conclude it. So just follow along. I'll try to explain as much as possible about different things which are involved in this lab. Just prepare the environment as we always do, and let's try to understand that what's written in a business request. So you can read the challenge requirements over here. We'll start by task number 1, and in task number 1 we'll build a brand new CloudFormation template from the scratch, and we'll define the infrastructure as a code automatically to create an Amazon S3 bucket that will host the Café's static website. By the end of this step, we'll have a reusable CloudFormation template capable of deploying the website environment consistently and quickly. As you can see that we are going to IDE environment, and then we'll save our S3 YAML file so that it would be used as a template, and then we'll make sure that we are deploying the right resources for that one and trying to achieve the target. Finally, you'll be answering the questions which are related to this task. So let's get started. So in the first task, as mentioned over there, it's talking about IDE. So for that we'll have to go to Cloud9. So go to your console and type in here Cloud9 and press on this so that we can go to the integrated development environment. Now once you're here, click File, create a new file, and just make sure that you are saving it as S3.YAML. Now a thing which is very important over here is just make sure that you're typing capital S3, otherwise it won't recognize it. Once that's done, press Ctrl S again to save it. Now once that's done, they're saying to copy these files to your template or S3YAML. So we'll copy it here, and we'll copy this thing on our notepad file as well, and then I'm gonna paste it on S3.YAML. Now we'll come here and we'll paste the things and save it again. Now there is high probability that you'll make a mistake over here. Now how to solve that problem, I'm gonna address it in a while, but at the moment let's go through the instructions what they are talking about. In next step, they are saying to add the description as Café S3 template. So here in front of description, I'm gonna give a space and type in as Café S3 template. But here, you'll notice that if I'm going backspace, it's appearing in white. It means that there is something wrong in the overall syntax of it. So first of all, have a space after that, and then in the starting and end of it, it should be in the quotes and it should appear in blue color. In next step, they are asking us to execute this command and just make sure that it executes well. So what I'm going to do over here is that I'm gonna copy this code over here, but I'll not execute it. The reason is that sometimes it happens that we add up some extra spaces up here. Now in order to fix it, the tip is to copy it and paste it on ChatGPT, Gemini or Copilot. Let it fix the syntax of it, and then we are going to paste the commands which are required to be executed. So I checked the command and I'm gonna paste it over here and save it again. And now we'll go to the instructions manual and we are going to copy these commands and we are going to paste it over there. Now once you are here, press Ctrl V, press enter, and it should not give you any error message. Now if you'll see stack ID ARN, it means that your stack has been successfully created. 2, which is configuring the bucket as a website and updating the stack. So we'll configure our S3 bucket for static website hosting, upload our website files, and upload the CloudFormation stack to include the new configuration. This demonstrates how we can modify existing infrastructure through CloudFormation updates. By the end of this task, our cafe's website would be live and accessible to the users. So here they are saying to create the bucket. Now you'll have to copy the command from here and run it on your IDE environment. Just make sure that they are saying to replace the occurrences of your bucket name. So once you'll copy the code from here and then you'll replace the bucket name as it's appearing here, and then we'll execute the code. So let's go step by step. I would prefer copying this first part from here first and execute it on our IDE. So once I'm here, I'm gonna paste it here, and as you can see that it's downloading the files for the website. As you can see, the next step is that it's saying to copy this command and paste it there. But the problem in this one is that they're saying to replace this bucket name with your bucket name. So we'll have to find the bucket name first. So let's try to check how we can find the bucket name over here. So in order to find the bucket name, I wrote a command over here, AWS S3ls, and it listed 4 buckets which were created today for my lab environment. And in this one, this is the bucket name in my case. So you'll check the bucket name in your case, and then we'll modify the command accordingly. So since we know the name of the bucket, we'll go back to the instructions manual and we'll copy our command. So here, let's try to copy the entire string from here. Copy it. So once you have copied to a notepad, so you can easily replace this thing. Now go to your terminal and copy this thing from here. Open your notepad file, and now we'll replace this name with our bucket name and maximize it so that you can see it in a single line. Now we'll copy this thing from here and we'll try to execute it over here and press enter. Now once that's done, we'll go back to our instructions manual and we'll copy the third set of commands from here, which is from here to here. And likewise, we'll open our notepad file again and we'll paste it here. And again, since we know that our bucket name was this one, so we'll replace the bucket name here, and I think that's it in this one. Then we'll copy the command from here after changing the bucket name, and we'll paste the command here and press enter. Again, for the fourth step, we'll copy the command from here, open our notepad file, and again, as earlier, we'll copy the bucket name, and then we'll replace the bucket name here, then copy the command and paste it on your terminal, and paste it here, press enter. So if we want to see that if the actual bucket was created and if the stuff has been copied on that one, so we can go back to our console and check it over there. Once we are here, press S3 and you'll be able to see your S3 buckets. Once you're here, click on general purpose buckets and you'll be able to see all these different buckets. Now, if you remember, it listed 4 buckets and we selected the last one with JW. So I'm gonna click on this one and you can see the files which are copied in this one. Next, they are saying to go to the reference documentation and copy the deletion policy and attach the deletion policy to retain the bucket. So we'll be modifying the S3 YAML file over here. So for that, we'll click on the link which is provided here. Then we'll look for Amazon S3 since it's in the alphabetical order, so you'll be able to find it. Click on Amazon S3 and in this one select Amazon S3 bucket. Now in this one they are saying to find the deletion policy. Then here we'll scroll down and we'll go to YAML and we are going to copy this thing from here and we are going to update it on our IDE for S3 YAML. Under this one we'll paste deletion policy retain. Just make sure that you have saved the file. So we just finished this test. Now they are saying configure the bucket to host the static website with index.html as the index document. You can accomplish it by following the example over there. Now in order to do that, we'll have to go back to the documentation again. Once you're here, go back on top and select from here, before it was all, select YAML and then scroll down and you'll find the information over here. So first of all, we are going to copy properties here and then go back to Cloud9 and under retain, right under the deletion, you'll paste properties. Then we'll go back to the documentation again, and this time we are going to copy this part of it, which is website configuration, and copy it up to here, which is index.html. Then we'll go back to our IDE and under this one press enter, press tab and paste it here, which is your website configuration, and then we have your index.html. Next they are saying that go to your CloudFormation template and copy the website URL configuration from there as well. So again, on your configuration you can see the output over here and you can copy it from here, rather copy up to here with the description also, and Control C. Now once you are here on your IDE, just go back and paste it over here and then save it. Next step is they are saying to validate the S3 YAML file. So in order to do that, we'll copy this thing from here and we'll run it on our IDE. So here we'll paste the command and press enter. And as you can see that it has validated it. Next step is that we need to deploy it now. So in order to do that, we are going to copy the next command from here. Go back to IDE, paste the command and press enter. So as you can see that it has successfully updated this stack. Now if you want to see that if it's actually created this stack, so we'll have to go to CloudFormation. So we'll search for CloudFormation, click on this one, then we can go to stacks And as you can see, our Café S3 bucket has been successfully completed. You can see the events of it. If it is still in process, you can refresh it, but here you can see the status of it, that it has successfully completed it. If you want to see the other relevant details related to this one, for example the template of it and the details, you'll find it over here. Just make sure that under the outputs, under output you should have a URL over here. If you are pressing refresh and if it's not appearing here, we can go back to our Cloud9 environment and we can run the command that we ran earlier a couple of times just to make sure that it is applied properly. Now I'm still getting the error message over here. So it means that something is wrong over here. So if you'll see closely, just make sure that you have proper indentation over here. So I'll have to indent website URL and the value of it, and then this thing should go one step forward as this one, and the description should be appearing under the value. Now I'll save it again and I'll try to run the command again to update this tag. So we'll try to paste it again here and save it and try to execute the command again. As you can see that it has now updated the stack. Now we can go back and wait for a while and then try to refresh it and see if the URL appears in a while. Now since it detected that there was a change in the settings of it, so it is showing that update is in progress. So if we'll come here and it is updating something, so you can refresh it, and now it's saying that the update is complete. So if we'll go on output, you'll be able to see a URL over here. Next step is to click on this link and see if it's able to open the website or not. And as you can see that it has successfully loaded the website, it means that our stack has been deployed and the configurations are there. Now since we have successfully completed challenge number 1, now challenge number 2 is about storing template in a version control system. So the main task in this one is to clone a code commit repository that contains the CloudFormation template. So we'll integrate version control by cloning an AWS code commit repository that contains the CloudFormation template. This would allow us to track the changes and to collaborate and maintain version history. By the end of this step, our template will be securely managed in the code commit ready for automated deployments. So this is something new that we haven't tried before in any of the other labs. So let's start working on this one. Let's go to the console and type code commit. You'll find it over here. Click on this one. You'll find CF template. Click on this one and then click on templates. So as you can see that there are 3 YAML templates already available over here. So that's what they are saying to start lab YAML. So we'll try to open and follow the instructions on that one. Then we'll click on start lab.yml and you can see the YAML code in this template. After that, they are saying to create a clone choosing the clone HTTPS. So for that, we'll go back to our repositories. So we'll click on this HTTPS to clone it. And now we'll go back to our IDE and we'll type git clone, and then the address that we just copied, we'll paste it over here for HTTPS and press enter. And if you noticed on your left hand side, now we have the CTF template repo, and in this one we have all of these templates. Next, they are saying to use the Git client software to analyze the local copy. We'll have to copy these commands and run it on our terminal. So once you are here, paste it and press enter. So it would say that there's nothing to commit since there are no more changes over here. That concludes our challenge number 2, and we'll be starting challenge number 3 now. So now let's start challenge number 3, which is using continuous delivery service to create a network and application layer for the Café. So what we are doing in task number 4 over here is that we'll combine the CloudFormation code commit and code pipeline to build a continuous delivery pipeline. The pipeline will automatically deploy our Café network layer by creating the VPC, subnets, and gateways. So whenever updates are pushed to the repository, they'll be ready for that. And by the end of the networking resources will be deployed, it would automatically do all those things without any manual setup. So that's what they're saying over here. We'll be going to CTF templates in the repo again, and we'll rename the file by duplicating it to Café network.yaml. So for this one, we'll have to come to our IDE, and first of all, we'll have to create a duplicate of our template 1. So we'll create a template duplicate, and then we'll rename this one to the name that we have just copied. So we'll paste it over here. So you'll see a file name as cafe-network.yaml. Once that's done, we are going to double click on this one and open it so that we can see the contents of this one. So we just completed this part. Now they are saying in the text editor, open the Café network, which we have just opened, and enter the description of it as network layer for the Café. So we look for the description and paste this information over there. So as you can see here, there's no description, so I'll put a space and paste it over here and just make sure that you have saved it. Once that's done, they're saying to go to code pipeline console. So here we are going to type code pipeline and click on this one. Next, they are saying to see the source of Café network pipeline. So we'll click on this one, and as you can see, it's telling us the source and deploy address for that one. And as you can see that it's actually failing the connection between two. So in order to fix it, we'll go to edit. So we'll scroll down under edit deploy. We'll click on edit. So the reason for the error message that we were seeing earlier is under here. If you'll click it and if you'll scroll down, it's actually looking for this file. That's why it's triggering an error since we renamed it earlier. So we are not making any changes. We were just seeing the pipelines that what's the main reason of this error message. Next, they are saying type in git status and check the status of it, and then let's copy these commands from here. So let's try to run git status again and press enter, and it would say that there's nothing to commit at the moment since we didn't make any changes. But it did add this file that we recently renamed it. So after doing this thing, it showed you a message that there's nothing else to commit. So next we'll paste the command that we copied earlier from there and run enter. And after that, they are saying type in git status again. So you'll see the status of it, and then we'll type in git push and press enter. So since now we have pushed it, it would affect the time, it would affect the actual pipeline over here. And that's what they are showing over here in the diagram that we have, that whenever we'll push the code pipeline, it would deploy the things automatically. So now if in this diagram, we'll go to the pipelines, and if we'll refresh it and we try to open it, it would show you that it is now deploying it. And it took a while, but it started deploying it. If you want to go back to your code pipeline, it would show the status over here as in progress as well. So since we executed it, now it's trying to run and deploy the settings. And as you can see that in a while, it has successfully fixed the problem or the issue that we had over here. Now further, if you want to check it on CloudFormation, you can check it there as well, that if it has actually created a stack for that or not. So we'll go to our stacks over here on CloudFormation, and you can see that this new stack has been recently completed or deployed over here, which is Update Café Network. Further, if we want to see our VPCs as well, I'll go there, and if I'll click on my VPCs, which is over here, or your VPCs, you can see that you have your Café VPC deployed as well, and it has the details like the public subnet is generated, it's going to internet gateway. If you want to see the details of the network, everything has been deployed automatically. And on your left hand side, if you'll click on subnets, you can see the subnet for that, and even the route table. And if I'll go to the route tables, you can see the Café public route table, and if you want to see the details of it, they are here. Further, internet gateway is deployed also, and these are the details of the internet gateway. If we click on network access control, we have a Café public subnet. If we click on this one, you can see that the rules are there for inbound as well as for outbound traffic. So we have checked all those things and have completed task number 4. Now we are going towards task number 5. Now task number 5 is about updating the network stack. So we'll make control updates to the network stack, for example modifying the subnets or routes, and commit these changes to code commit. Code pipeline will detect the changes and would automatically update the stack. That would prove that how continuous delivery simplifies infrastructure management. So in order to do this task, we'll have to update our cafe.network.yaml, and they're saying to add these things to it. So we'll copy this stuff from here, and then we'll go to our IDE, and here you'll scroll it all the way towards the end of the file, and here let's paste the things and save it. After saving it, I'll type git add templates and then Café network YAML, and then after that, then I added another command over here after this one called git commit m and template network.yaml. So it made some changes, and if I'll type in git status, it would show me that it has applied the changes. Now if we'll go to code pipelines again, to code pipeline, and click on that one, and if I'll check code network pipeline, you can see that it has succeeded successfully and it has deployed the configuration. Further, if you'll go to CloudFormation, and it should show us that an update has been done over there. And if we'll open update and try to refresh it, as you can see, it is showing the update completed here successfully, and it started the update process for this one also. Further, if you look under the events, as you can see, it has shown you that update network cafe has been done successfully moments ago. After that, I'll come back to my ID and I'll type in git push again over here. And after a while, if you'll go to update and refresh it, you should be able to see your public subnet and VPC ID. So that's exactly what we saw under the update. Now let's start working towards step number 6. So in task number 6, we are defining an EC2 instance resource and creating a application stack. So what we will do here is that we'll define the EC2 instance resource in the CloudFormation template to represent the application layer of the Café environment. Once the template is committed, code pipeline will automatically deploy the application stack. So by the end, both the network and application layer will be fully deployed and running through the automation process. So in next step, we'll duplicate template 2 by clicking on this one, and now they are asking us to rename it to cafeapp.yml. We'll double click on this one and it would open. So we can close S3. We are not using it anymore. So it's showing us the details, and if you'll read, it's telling us the parameters for this one and further for different regions, walk key and the key pair names, etc. So you can just go through and read the policies under this one, ports and rest of the things which are defined. Now again, they are saying to go to the documentation and get the details for your EC2 instances. So here we'll come to YAML instance parameters, click on this one, copy it. So here you'll come and paste it over here. Just make sure that you'll remove the parameters thing from here and then save it. And then change it to T2, here also T2, and here also T2. Next they are saying to go to the CloudFormation documentation. We'll small it. Before showing this one, let me go through the settings on our IDE. Now we'll paste it here and then we'll have to make some changes to this one, like T2 micro, T2 small, T3 small, or T3 micro, and likewise we'll make some changes over here as well, where we'll change as T2 small, T2 micro, T2 small, T3 micro, and T3 small. Rather change default as well to T2 micro. Now let's go to AWS CloudFormation. In this one also, let's change it to YAML. So we opened that one. Now they are saying to enter the logic ID as Café instance. So we'll copy it from here. Here under resources, I'll press enter and I'll paste Café instance over here and press a tab, and then after this one press a colon and save it. Then click on resources over here, and from here we are going to copy these details, AWS EC2 instance and properties. So we'll copy it. So under instances we'll press enter and we'll paste it here as type AWS. Have a tab over here, and for properties make sure it is under type. After that we'll go back to our EC2 instance documentation and we are going to copy image ID from here. So I'll copy it, and then after properties press tab, rather one step back, and type in image ID as well. So this image ID is actually referring back to the latest AMI ID. So in order to call it over here, I'll paste or I'll call it as reference to latest AMI ID. Next we'll have to copy the instance type from here, and under your latest AMI ID type in, opened it another window, so you can type in over here a instance and just make sure that it is indented right with the image ID. So this one is also referring back to our instance type parameter ID, which is this one. So in order to do it, we'll do it exactly like we did earlier. We'll give it a reference to, and then we'll type it as instance type parameter. After that, save the file. So we have finished up to here. Now they are asking for key name. So we'll copy it from here and paste it on our IDE. And it would be pasted right under the instance, and paste it over here. Make sure you'll save it. Next, they are asking us to add the details for IAM instance profile. So you'll find it in your instance AWS EC2 instance, and you can find it over here, IAM instance profile. So we are going to copy it from here. So right under this one, we'll paste it. We'll remove the string from here, and we will specify it as Café role. So let's copy it from here, and let's paste it over here and save it again. After that, they are saying in the properties section, paste this code. So we'll copy it from here, and right under Café role, we'll paste it. Now, as you can see that the indentation is not right, so we'll manually try to fix it. We have fixed it at the moment, but before we'll execute it, I'll again recommend the same thing, to copy and paste it on ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot, just to make sure that it does not have any spaces before and after the codes. Next, they are saying to set a tag of key name, value of Café web server. And for tags, you can copy this tag from here, and we'll paste it under Café. Just let's go back 2 spaces and enter the tag here, just to make sure that it's in line. Now we'll have to add a key and a value as mentioned in the description. So we'll type in a key, and then we'll name it as name. And under this one, we'll press a tab, and then we'll type a value of it, a value. And then for that, they are saying to enter is Café SG, and you can see the option over here, and save it. Then for properties, they are saying to include the following additional user data. So we'll copy it from here. I think the value should be Café web server, so let's update this one first. So we'll change this Café SG to Café web server. Now we'll copy the properties data from here. So let's press enter and paste it over here, and then we can select it and we can move it forward. And once it's selected, just press tab and make sure that it is after this one, and press save. Now once that's done, to validate, we'll type in the following command. Let's copy it from here, and let's go back to our terminal and try to paste it over here and press enter. Now as you can see that it has successfully executed it. After that, we'll try to check the git status, and we'll see it. Then we'll say git push, and then check the command again of git status. Further, we can do another thing. We can do git add, and then type in temp tab, so it would fill it, and then type Café and tab, so it would write app.yaml. After that, and we'll try to git commit control X. Sorry, it's not a full command, so we'll type in git push and let it push. And for commit, we can type in git commit -m, and then we can type in as Café app initial. And after that, just press enter. And now let's try git push, and let's do git status and press enter. Now let's check it in pipeline. see if it's executed or not. So we'll have to open Café app pipeline. Now it would take a while before it will take effect, so you'll have to go to your pipelines and you'll refresh it, wait for a while, you'll see the status of it that it's being updated. And if you'll go to CloudFormation, as you can see, it's saying create in progress, so it's updating the Café app. So we'll give it a while till it would successfully deploy the setup. And you can see on pipeline also, it initiated the update process. Refresh it and you'll be able to see that it has resolved the issues of connection between source and deploy as well. So we fixed the issues with Café network pipeline, and we just fixed the issue with Café app pipeline network as well as irregular one. Here also you'll refresh and you'll be able to see that it's complete, and if we'll go to the output and we'll refresh it, we'll be able to see the VPC ID and public subnet in a while. To further verify it, we can go to our EC2 instances and try to look over there. So we'll type in EC2 and click on this one, and we'll be able to see the instances which are running, and you'll be able to see this Café server which is recently deployed, and if you'll click on it, you'll be able to get its details over here. Further, if you look into the update Café app and you'll check the resources, you have the Café instance and Café SG appearing here. In the output, it has the web server public IP address, and rest of the things are normal, like you'll be able to see the parameters for Café network parameter, instance type, and the latest AMID. The template is over here, and we showed you earlier that how can you modify it into a composer. Next, they are saying to try to browse the website. So in order to open the website, we'll have to copy the IP address from here and open it in a browser. And once we pasted the address, you'll be able to see a web server which is hosting your website. It means that it's up and running. Further, if we want to see the Café website, we'll type in /Café and you should be able to see this website. So finally, we'll be starting our challenge number 4, which is duplicating the network and application resources in second AWS region. So what we are actually trying to do in this one is that we'll replicate the entire Café infrastructure to a second AWS region. This ensures high availability and disaster recovery by maintaining identical network and application stack in multiple regions. So by the end of this task, the Café environment will be globally resilient and fault tolerance. So in order to complete this task, we'll have to copy this command from here, and we'll be running it in our IDE environment. So here we can clear it now, and we can paste the command and press enter. So as you can see that it is creating a environment in a different region, which is US West 2. So it has updated the stack for that. Next, they are saying to go to CloudFormation and change the region to US West Oregon West 2. So we'll have to check there. So we are in CloudFormation, and on top at the moment we are in North Virginia. We are going to select this one as Oregon US West 2. So as you can see that it has already replicated the Café network over here. So just to confirm, I pushed it again and checked the status of it. Further, if we want to go to VPC and open it, and then you can change the region to your Oregon US West 2, and if you click on VPC, you'll be able to see that your VPC has been deployed. It has a public subnet and internet gateway. It has the IP4, and then if we look on subnets, we'll find a Café public subnet address here. If we want to see the routes, we have the routes available for this one, and even the subnet association section is there. And if we look at the internet gateways, it's there as well. And if we'll check the access control list for our Café public subnet, we can click on this one and you can see inbound and outbound rules for that as well. So as you can see, it has successfully completed it. If you can go to events, you'll be able to see the details, and for the resources and output, we have the public IP address over here. Further, they are saying to go to VPC and check if you can find it over here. So just make sure that you are in Oregon West 2 and you can find it over here that it is successfully deployed on our region number 2. Next, they are saying to go to Amazon EC2 console on Oregon West 2 and navigate to the key pairs and create a key pair. So now we are in EC2 and let's change the origin to Oregon. And then let's go to the security groups. You can find the Café SG over here, but since they are asking for key pairs, we'll click on key pair. And as you can see that I have already created a key pair, but if you want to create a new one over here, you'll create a new one and you'll type in as Café Oregon, and then in this one we'll select RSA, and here if you're using PuTTY, we'll use PPK and create a new key pair. Now we have covered this part. Now finally they are asking us to go to S3 and we'll have to perform certain operations over there. Then it asks us to look for repo bucket, and we can see it right over here, and we can click on this one and we'll have to copy the name of this bucket. So just for reference, I'm copying it. Further, if you'll see closely, they are saying to run this command but update the bucket name here. So first of all, as we copied the bucket name earlier, we'll paste it over here, and then we can copy it and replace this thing with the bucket name. So we'll copy this thing, and now we'll go back to our IDE environment, and let's press it clear here, and I'm gonna paste it and press enter. If it's not working, I'll write it in a different way and press enter, and now as you can see it works. So I changed the command a little bit over here, and instead of using a template over here, I just typed in copy Café app YAML and pasted. So it has successfully uploaded this information on S3 bucket. And since we have uploaded it over here, if we'll refresh it, we can see Café app YAML file over here. Now they are saying to copy the URL of cafeapp.yaml. So we are here and we'll click on this one to copy the URL. Next they are saying go to CloudFormation, ensure that your region is Oregon. And as you can see, our origin is Oregon over here. And then just come back to your stacks and create a new stack over here. We'll use standard. So we are creating a new stack and choose the new standard. We did that. Now create a stack for Amazon S3 URL, and we'll paste the URL that we have copied. So we'll keep it as choose an existing template and Amazon S3, and here the URL that we copied will be pasted. After that you'll press next, and now it's asking for stack name. So we can choose any name, and then we'll have to select T3 Micro. So I'll name it as Mod 11 Challenge Lab, and then we'll move down, and here we'll select T3 Micro. Sorry, it should be T3 Micro. After that press next. This is just the information about configuring the stack. So we'll just press next, verify the settings here, and submit. So as you can see, it is creating a new stack over here. So we'll have to give it some time to complete the process. As you can see that it has successfully completed, and it has created the instances, and it had created a stack for that as well. Now if you want to verify it, we can check it on our EC2 instances. Go to your EC2 instances. So as you can see that it's initializing the instance over here. So if we'll go back to our CloudFormation and select Oregon over here, you can see that it has created this stack of Mod 11 Challenge Lab, and if we'll click on it, you can see the details of it, and even under output you can see a public IP address over here. So if you'll type in the address in the browser, you'll be able to see the website which is running on this one, a default website. And if you'll type in /Café, you'll be able to see the Café website as well. So if you might have noticed, the first instance of it is in US East 1A, whereas the other one is in US West 2A. So you can even copy the IP addresses and check it that both of them are running in two different regions. So that was our lab on module number 11, which is automating your architecture, and it was a challenge lab on automating infrastructure deployment. That's it for today. Thank you very much.